Okay, starting something new. Had an idea. Was looking for a new book to read, and the last book pointed me in this direction, so I'm going to go for it. It's the Recovery Devotional Bible, um, and it's the New International Version modified into a recovery source. Um, and I don't know if I've read this one all the way cover to cover. I know I've read the regular NIV Bible at least two times cover to cover. And, I've always professed that it's never taken me. I've always had a resistance. And all the years of work that I put in here on this spiritual journey seems to be bringing me back to this. So I'm going to give it another go. Maybe three's a charm. We'll see. So there are copyright issues here. I've read over them. Um, I am not a commercial operation at this point, so I'm going to go for it. There's some thinking and thoughts about how I do move forward if this thing ends up getting monetized. So hopefully be able to get that worked out. My whole intention with this thing was to just discover this out, play with it for 3 months for the end of the last quarter of 2024, and if it looks like this is going to be a thing and could be monetized, then I will get things squared away and how that works. And I've got a lawyer from my previous church that I can put these ideas together and see what we come up with, so that I'm working working clean, and being responsible financially and legally and all that good stuff. So, anyways, caveats aside, um, let's start. And it looks like the stuff at the beginning might be useful. So I might not go over the alphabetical orders or the acknowledgments. Um, but so let's just start this, because this is really kind of, I don't ever hear anybody talk about the Recovery Bible. And I've owned this thing for at least 10 or 15 years. I don't remember where I got it or how I got it, but I got it and it's out there. So, but I don't think I've ever heard it referred to in a meeting or in the meeting after the meeting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody reference this. But anyway, so we're going to see what it is. Introduction to the Recovery Devotional Bible. Welcome to the Recovery Devotional Bible, a unique tool for those of us who are recovering from addictive, compulsive, and codependent behavior patterns. It is designed to enhance our recovery work by integrating the text of the Bible with the 12 steps, the set of principles used by programs such as Alcoholics Anonymous, Adult Children's of Alcoholics, and Codependence Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous. I'm going to say that out loud without a whisper. Narcotics Anonymous. Meetings that I've also attended, I've gone to Overeaters Anonymous, Al Anon, and I've dropped in on a couple of other fellowships once or twice, like Emotions Anonymous. Not to say that in any kind of way, uh, but and dare I say, Sex Addicts Anonymous. I think I've been to one of those meetings. I've been to an emotions meeting. I think that's pretty much it. But I definitely qualify for basically all the fellowships. But anyways, um, the features inserted in this Bible: meditations, life connections, book introductions, and step markers highlight the spiritual parallels between the 12 steps and the Bible. The 12 steps in the Bible together? Question mark. Bringing the steps and the scriptures together makes sense for several reasons. First, the 12 steps are based on biblical principles and were written at a time when AA's primary spiritual source materials were the Bible and the teachings of a Christian organization known as the Oxford Group. Second, just as the 12 steps are a spiritual rather than a religious program, the Bible is a spiritual rather than a religious book. It is clearly Judeo Christian, but it does not tell us what church to join or what brand of theology to subscribe to. It provides spiritual truth that we must apply to our own lives and recovery. Wow. If there's truth in that statement, then that takes out all the boogaboos. I've always got this associated with, major religions and all the stuff that goes around that. But anyways, less commentary. How will the Recovery Devotional Bible help me? The Recovery Devotional Bible can support and strengthen your recovery in many ways. It can, bullet points, illuminate spiritual truths behind the 12 steps. It can expand your understanding of God and how to relate to Him. It can correct distorted views of God you may have learned in your dysfunctional family system. It can provide spiritually rich, it can be a spiritually rich source material for your own prayer and meditation. Step 11. It can lead you toward the will of God for your life. Is that step 3? It can show how to carry on healthy, functional relationships. Yeah. Oh my God. Has this been the answer all the time? 3. It can point you to biblical characters who demonstrate healthy and unhealthy ways of dealing with dysfunction. So, positive role models and negative role models. It can provide a fresh perspective on the connection between your faith and your recovery. It can help you to see the Bible and personal faith in a whole new way. It can help you see the Bible and your personal faith in a whole new way. It can serve as a valuable resource in 12-step meetings, church support groups, or your personal spiritual growth. Those are a lot of cans. Although the Recovery Devotional Bible refers to Christians who are in recovery, you do not have to be a Christian to benefit from it. If you consider yourself a Christian, the benefit to you will increase as you will likely discover a whole new dimension to your faith, the healing dimension. Wow. The Bible. The Recovery Devotional Bible features the complete text of the Holy Bible, New International Version. This version's readability and accuracy make it the most popular modern translation available today. It allows us to experience the stories, the people, the truth of the Bible in a fresh way. Basically, probably the two most common versions that we modern folks have had our hands on is either the King James Version, which is the Old English version, kind of sounds a lot like Shakespeare, with the these and the thous and the those and the thems, and very heightened poetry. And then the NIV is much washed down, modernized, less flowery, poetic. I mean, there's still poetry here, but it's a little more palatable. It's exactly what I do with Shakespeare when I try to get it to a modern audience, is I take out a lot of the these, thous, and those. Not all of them, but most of them. Because 90% of the language is common, everyday English language. Super simple. But we if there's a passage with 4 or 5 lines on it and there's 3 or 4 funky words in there that we don't know, I don't understand any of it. No, you understand 90% of it. There's just, there's 4 or 5 words that you need to look up. Look them up and put it in and figure it out, and poof, there you go. You're intelligent. Anyways, Yeah, let's finish this. Introductory articles. Immediately following the introduction, you'll find essays from various authors that provide helpful background on the relationship between the 12 steps and the Bible. Okay, we're going to go through those. Together, they present a historical and experiential context in which you can read and understand the Recovery Devotional Bible. Meditations. In keeping with step 11, which names prayer and meditation as the means for improving our conscious contact with God, the Recovery Devotional Bible provides a full year of daily meditations addressing topics in the Bible text. Each meditation highlights some aspect of the 12-step recovery as it is reflected in a specially chosen passage of scripture. Short prayer accompanies each one, and the steps to which each meditation applies are also listed. All of these meditations are written by men and women with firsthand knowledge of recovery. You'll recognize many of them as experts in the recovery field. They know what they're talking about, and they all share the conviction that the 12 steps are at the core of a spiritual program. The Bible is packed not only with principles, but also the Bible is packed not only with principles that apply to our recovery, but also with people with whom we can learn. Many biblical characters grew up in what we would now call dysfunctional homes. Some made tragic choices. Others wisely chose the path of facing their own weaknesses and surrendering their lives to God. Still others made mistakes, but owned up to them and later became greatly used by God. Over 50 of the meditations in the Recovery Devotional Bible are profiles of these biblical characters. The person's name just above the title of a meditation tells you it is a character study. Wow, character study in order to build character. Because of our character defects, we can learn to alter them over into character assets. Wow, this is good stuff. Life connections. Many passages in the Bible have such striking 12-step parallels that they beg for more explanation. That's why we've included life connections. 400 tidbits within the text designed to create a little aha experience in the soul of the reader. They show practical connections between the Bible and the issues we are working on today in the world of our recovery. Book introductions. The introduction to each Bible book briefly highlights that I'm going to learn how to read one of these days. The introduction to each Bible book briefly highlights that book's practical themes and recovery applications. You'll find interesting background information that will help you better understand that book and its meditations. Step markers. To help you find a host of other passages that relate to the 12 steps, use the step markers. These small blue brackets and step symbols call attention to many passages that pertain to the steps. For simplicity, the 12 steps have been combined into 4 groupings. Some category writers have called steps 1, 2, and 3 the give up steps. Steps 4, 5, 6, and 7, the cleanup steps. Steps 8, 9, the makeup steps. And steps 10, 11, and 12, the keep up steps. I like that. I'm gonna borrow that. The step markers are only suggestions. You may see a stronger connection between the verse and the completely different step. That's fine. Neither are the markers intended to be comprehensive. There are far too many passages with 12-step parallels to cover them all. Reading plans. Beginning on page 1430, you'll find several plans for reading through the Recovery Devotional Bible and its meditations in different ways. You can simply read the passages listed with each meditation, or you can read straight through the Bible and the meditations tackling a few chapters a day. Whatever way you read the Bible, you'll find an amazing sense of continuity and many memorable nuggets of truth that will strengthen your recovery. Resources. In the back of the Recovery Devotional Bible, you'll find a selection of prayers and readings, a useful list of recovery resource organizations, an index of places to turn for help with specific needs, and a complete subject index. These features make the Recovery Devotional Bible a valuable resource that can be used for personal meditation, in a church setting, and in 12-step meetings. Which 12-step meetings would allow this into it? That's interesting. I I I I know my either home group would say hell no. So be interesting to find a 12-step meeting that would let this in. That would be interesting. So, all right, I think that's enough for today. Um, oh well, we're going on 16 minutes already. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made a list, or no. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. All of them, all of it. And then, I'll pick up with that tomorrow. Done. There's something new. And I'm probably going to trim this back. Maybe 12 minutes would be the ideal chunk. That's it. 12 minutes a day. That's the name of this thing. 12 minutes a day. 12 minutes. 12 minutes.